Hi, good morning, everyone. So this is my breakfast. I'm just doing a banana smoothie this morning. So I do have these a lot, and to be honest, I don't really get tired of them. Like they're never like, ugh. They're always delicious. I'm always kind of surprised at how delicious they are. But I like to do variety from time to time just to, have a little bit of variety. But honestly, I don't know if a simple plain banana smoothie can be beat. It's one of my favorites. And I just want to talk a minute about my Vitamix. I bought my Vitamix in 1999. So it is 16 years old, 16, 17 years old. And that is a true testimony to a great appliance. And you can see it's stained. It's the old school style, but I love my Vitamix and I've used it all of these years. I've used it a lot in the year and a half since I became vegan, but off and on throughout the years, I've used it a lot, in seasons. I would use it a lot for quite a bit and then not use it at all. But I did have to, um, if you get a Vitamix, make sure you read the warnings and the instructions very carefully, because if you turn it on and leave it on and you create that vortex and there's nothing touching the blade, so it spreads everything out up against the walls and nothing is touching the blade, it will burn out your motor or it can ruin your pitcher. And that did ruin my pitcher once. I had to buy a new one actually fairly early on because I was using it improperly. So I just wanted to mention, and I'll put a link below, that if you're shopping for a Vitamix or a blender or a juicer, check out John. His YouTube channel is OK Raw, but I'll link his. He reviews and tests and rates blenders, juicers on another YouTube channel that he has, and I'll link it below. It's a great place to go if you're shopping for a blender. Also, I'm going to be using these. I've got 2 bananas and 3 cups of water in here now, and I'm going to put in 4 more bananas, and these are beautiful. They're organic bananas, spotted and ready to go, and they're about medium size. But I just wanted to mention, I'm thinking about changing my YouTube name to The Lucky Vegan, because I 4.5 years ago married a produce manager of all things, and so when I became vegan, I feel really fortunate because he keeps me stocked with fruit and vegetables, but he makes sure that I have bananas every day. So thank you, Dwayne. I love you. And voila. Into, excuse me, into the jar it goes. And a little left over, and I'll drink that out of the pitcher. Yum. So I just made my breakfast and I'm getting ready to go to work. And I thought I would talk really quick. I was just mentioning how I think I should change my name to The Lucky Vegan instead of The Wonder Vegan, because I am so fortunate to have someone just to bring home fruit to me all the time. But I wanted to talk about that because a lot of times people will let excuses get in the way of, well, a lot of things in life, but let's take veganism, for example, or trying a plant-based diet for 30 days. There are so many excuses and reasons why people don't want to do it. Most people just don't want to do it. And then some people are really sick and they want to get well, and they actually consider trying it, but they think they can't. And so they come up with all these reasons why that is, why they can't do it. And one of the reasons is, the preparing of the foods and the being prepared. And you do have to be prepared. You're going to be in a world of meat eaters, and so you have to make sure that you cook your own food and that you bring your own food to work, or you bring your own food to parties or to events. You have to do that. And so I just want to say that this is an example where you really just have to get over yourself. It's really what it's about, because you're the one that's standing in your way of moving forward. And really in life, that's what happens. We stay where we're at as long as we're not moving forward. And if we're afraid to take risks, we're afraid to try new things, then we're not going to move forward. And so really you just have to try different things, brainstorm, think about what's going to work for you. I know in yesterday's video I showed all the foods that I keep in my cupboard and at the fridge at work, and I realized that that's not an option for everybody. Not everybody has, a refrigerator at work or whatever. And so you need to stop and look at your own circumstances and figure out what you can do. And then you need to implement those practices and do it consistently until it becomes normal for you. Once it becomes normal for you, it won't be hard, it won't be an inconvenience. It'll just be the way you live your life. Okay, I didn't used to bring my food. I didn't even eat breakfast. I never brought lunch to work. I most days skipped lunch and just, I had a jug of milk in the refrigerator. And if I got hungry, I drank milk or I ate string cheese. And I had horrible acne and didn't understand why. So yeah, you have to come up with something that works for you. Do it consistently, work out the kinks, and it will become normal for you and you'll move forward. And I'd like to do a whole video about this because I know I've mentioned it before that becoming vegan was the best choice I ever made. And I really do believe that, again, aside from getting my life straight with God, that's number one, but really it's the best choice I ever made. It's really helped me to begin to move through my life instead of staying put like I was. I tried a 30-day challenge, and then I tried another 30-day challenge, and that was risky and scary and hard for me. It took me a year to muster up the courage to do that. Once I got through with my 60 days, I knew I was vegan for life. And then I wanted to have this YouTube channel, and I knew I would never do that, but I did. I did it anyway, even though I'm the type of person who always says, never go in front of a camera, never get on a stage unless you practice, unless you're good, don't stink up the stage. But I just did it, even though I had no practice, even though I'm not good. I just did it. I didn't let the excuse of, well, I'm not good enough, and I don't have a good camera, and I don't have, don't know how to use the software, and I don't have time to do editing. I didn't let those excuses stop me from doing something I really, really wanted to do, which was share how my life has been changed from such a simple and natural thing as changing my diet to eating plants. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is I want to review last night's Zumba. It's my shimmy for you. I'm getting better. I'm going to get better every time. So last night I went to Zumba and it was packed and it was really good times. And I just really enjoy, one of the things I love about Zumba is learning these Latin steps and this way of moving my hips that's very awkward and feels very unnatural. I don't know, it's gonna loosen me up, and I can just already tell that it's going to be a really beneficial thing for my flexibility, for my confidence, for my endurance, because you're out there, moving for an hour, quite a bit of movement, quite a bit of cardio. So it was a lot of fun. There were a lot of people there. And again, I was able to keep up. I didn't feel exhausted at all because I was carved up. Nothing hurt. The first night my knees hurt a little bit. Last night they didn't. And then this morning, no muscle pain, no muscle stiffness, which I'm shocked by that. I really am shocked by that. As hard as I worked to wake up and not be stiff or in pain. And it really, I think it comes down to, again, making sure to eat after you work out, lots and lots of plants, make sure you're hydrated, and make sure you don't overdo it too. I know that I was remembering last night, back in my, I think it was my late 20s, I signed up for a dance aerobics class. I was going to get in shape. And I could barely move in that class. I could barely lift my feet. I was just kind of calling it in, just kind of going through the motions. And I would see these other people around me just, really going for it and jumping up and down. And what's wrong with me? And so I noticed one of the women before the class was drinking this big coffee. And I thought, aha, that's what I need to do. And so I started doing that. And it only took me maybe about 3 classes later before I injured myself, because I was asking myself to do more than I was ready for. In other words, I overdid it because I was stimulating my body with all this caffeine, and then I was able to do these, high kicks. And I injured both of my knees in that class, and it took me like 6 to 8 months to heal after that. So you do have to do within reason what you're capable of doing. So don't overdo it. If you need to kind of just, if you're doing a new workout and you need to just kind of ease into it, I think that's great. I think that's smart. So don't overdo it. Stay hydrated. Make sure you eat. Stay carved up during the day. Make sure you eat after your workout and get lots of rest. Okay, it's lunchtime. I'm going to have this salad. This is something that my husband brought home because it was getting ready to be pulled off the shelf. It's a gourmet classic. Kale. It's got cheese. Of course, I didn't put that in. Dried cranberries, edamame, and a vinaigrette, which I did put a little bit, and then the baby kale blend, so I'll be enjoying that, along with leftover fettuccine from yesterday. I did put some green olives in this. I've been experimenting for the last month or so with additional fats like avocado, olives, coconut, just to see how that goes. So far, I've been doing it, like I said, a little over a month, and I haven't gained any weight, but my weight is still definitely at a plateau. So it's just an experiment. I'll probably get hungry later, so time for lunch. So I had a feeling that fettuccine wasn't going to fill me up, even though I added in the olives. It was just a small portion for me as far as pasta goes. When I eat pasta, I normally eat really large, abundant serving. So I'm going to have this as a snack. And again, this peanut butter is something I'm experimenting with. My digestion is not as optimal as usual with the additional peanut butter. So I'll probably finish off this container that I have and then go back to not eating it. And that's just me. We have to do, what works for us. But my daughter Ellie is coming home for a visit this weekend, and I'm sure she'll be happy to help me eat the peanut butter. So I just drank, this was about half full, and I drank it. And I just wanted to point out one of the reasons I'm doing this, what I eat in a day, is because when I went on this diet, I'd seen a lot of vegans saying that they are, losing weight, eating this abundant lifestyle, vegan lifestyle, and not to be afraid of sugar. This is a good example of a healthy sugar. This is an organic black cherry juice, 32 ounces. Not to be afraid of things like carbs, pasta, rice, potatoes. And to eat them abundantly. And I've been doing it for a year and a half, and I've lost 30 pounds eating abundant portions of food, eating till satiation, eating till I'm full, a high carb, low fat vegan lifestyle. And I really was a skeptic for a long time, and I just finally realized that the only way I would know if a diet like this really worked in terms of healing, in terms of weight loss, in terms of all of the energy that all of these vegan YouTubers spoke about, was to indeed try it. And that's what I did. So yeah, half of one of those, and then I've just got this orange I'm going to eat as a snack, and then we'll see what's in store for dinner. For dinner, I am having these lovely potatoes. This is simply 6 russet potatoes, scrubbed, chopped, and mixed with ranch herbs, which is garlic salt, basil, parsley, and chives. So I bake these, I don't know, between 30 and 40 minutes at 425. And that will be my dinner. So I'm looking forward to these. I'm really not feeling that hungry, but I know that from experience that if I say, I'm not that hungry, I'm going to skip dinner, by about 8 or 9 o'clock, I will have changed my mind.